Frank Sinkowicz, the 1942 Heisman Trophy winner from Georgia, died early today at his Athens home. He was 70 degrees.
Do you have battery backup?
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. This is the Morning Stream.
Hey everybody, welcome to TMS. It's the Morning Stream for, where's the date? Monday, February 17th, 2024, 5. Oh, shit!
Oh!
How long did it take me?
It lasted 7 weeks.
Frick!
Who had 7 weeks in the tadpole? You'll get your prize. Send me your...
I had a perfect record last year. I didn't want to break it this early. Like I could do it July.
Streak broken. And,
I'm going to puke next. That's not good. Well, anyway.
It would be great if it all happened at once.
Yeah.
2024, no!
Just like a puke stick in the Minority Report. Right. All right, you guys, we're here. It's a show. It's me and Brian. Hi, Brian. How you doing?
Hi, Scott.
Hey.
Hello. Happy President's Day to you, where we celebrate good presidents like Washington and Lincoln.
Yeah, we like Lincoln. I think John Adams was cool. He was all right.
I'm a fan of Madison and Monroe.
Yeah.
Fan of those two.
Those guys are all right, sure.
Yeah. Even, Grover Cleveland.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with a guy named Grover.
That's right. He got shot on the way to something, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
One of the assassinated presidents.
One of our few assassinated presidents, yeah.
And then we had the guy that took over was super corrupt, and it was all during the Tombstone time. There's a whole story with that guy. He's kind of a butthole. But you know what? Grover Cleveland. Thumbs
Grover
up.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Never forget.
I've never met a real Grover in my entire life. I've only known the Muppet Grover and the President
Grover. Just the Muppet
Grover.
and the President. Yeah, those are the only two Grovers. Grover Washington. We got the musician too, Grover Washington.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. But that's very few Grovers, right?
That is very few Grovers, and I think we do need some more Grovers.
Yeah, let's get that going, new parents of
If
babies.
you're pregnant right now, if you are listening to the sound of our voice and you are pregnant, I implore you, name your child Grover.
And how cute is that? It's cute. Grover.
It's cute.
Little
Grover's
Grover.
a great name.
Yeah, now when you get older, they'll have a choice. They'll either have to...
It's nothing really. You can shorten it too. Like you can't go...
Grover.
Grovey. It's really...
Grovey. Yeah, that doesn't work either, does it? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you're asking for trouble later, but as a little baby, a little kid named Grover is adorable. I love that.
Yeah. And there's currently no bad Grovers for people to compare it. Like, you can't do an Adolf. You can't do I don't know. There's probably some other bad names.
Rhymes with Ronald. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, there's that.
Some of those.
I probably wouldn't name my son Kanye right now.
No, hell no. Don't be doing, or Yee or Yeezus, any of those.
Or Puffy. Puffy would be a bad thing to name your child right now.
Yeah. Don't be doing that. Anyway, let's get to it. So we got a few things. I went and saw Brave New World on.
Cool.
When did I see it? Yesterday. My weekend's all weird in my head because we had a lot going on, and I don't really know what day I did anything. But we had a little birthday party and a sleepover, and we had stuff. And we decided Sunday, we're like, you know what? A big part of the day open, and we're like, we don't have anything right now. Let's go see the freaking movie. So we did,
right,
and I quite enjoyed it. I would not put it anywhere near Winter Soldier, but I liked it. I thought it was fine. I went in with a bit of confusion, and I think I even said this on the show, and nobody called me on it. And I wouldn't blame them because maybe they thought the same thing.
I might have missed it too if you said it.
Well, I know the Russo brothers are doing the next Avengers combo.
You're right. The Dynasty, Doom, whatever, and Secret Wars.
And I had it in my head because they did Winter Soldier back in 2015, and then went on to do the two, up till Endgame. I thought that they were doing that again. I thought this next Captain America was them directing. It's not. It's some dude I'd never heard of.
I don't even remember you saying that. I must have completely missed you saying that.
It was very much in passing, and just in my head, I thought I had it all set. So I get into this movie, and I'm just noticing a style difference, and it was throwing me at first. I also think the weakest part of that movie is the whole opening sequence. I don't think that stuff's all that great. It's okay, but it's not. It's not great. It's not like a big, wow, I'm at the movies, look at this awesome thing. But it's just him him just stopping a crime early. It's all connected, but it's just kind of boring. It's not a big
Mexico
deal.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's all right, but it introduces Giancarlo Esposito, and that's always fun. But anyway, I get to that part, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like the Russos. And of course, by the end of the movie, I've realized that I've had it all wrong. It's not the Russos at all. Anyway, I enjoyed it. We had a great time. Here's the weird thing, though. I'm in that movie, or I'm in that theater, and this is the theater we used to use for the Nerdtaculars 2007 through 2012.
Okay.
So you know the one.
The Larry Miller Theater?
Yeah, the one with the upstairs space we had and all that.
Yeah.
We watched, I think our last one that we watched there would have been, 2013 was the first Snowbird, so I don't remember what 2012 would have been.
Was that Iron Man 2?
That was 10, I think. 2010.
Okay.
12.
Star Trek.
That was 09.
09. Okay.
I can't remember 11 or 12.
Brave?
Oh, we didn't. I know why, because we didn't do it there. We were at Noah's 11 and 12.
But then we still saw a movie on one of those. I thought maybe it was Brave.
We did, but it wasn't it was like just a fun little like, hey, if you're still around, if you're still in town, we're all going to see Brave. Gotcha. It was that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I don't think we did anything like where the movie was the centerpiece from 2010 on, which makes sense because I remember Iron Man 2 being the last thing we did.
Right, because we had plenty of stuff going on with the actual multi-day event now.
Yeah, we grew and changed. And so anyway, I haven't been in there since, what was the Spider-Man movie after? It was my first movie post-pandemic in a theater. It was the Spider-Man movie, it's one of the Homes.
Homecoming? Or no, it would have been...
when did I hurt my back? It was the week after I hurt my back.
I don't remember. That's less of a thing for me to keep track of.
I know. I can't expect everyone to keep track of my back.
So it's either Far From Home, Homecoming, or No Way Home.
Yeah.
And obviously, the last one was No Way Home. So
I think it's the one with like everybody coming together. So that'd be No Way Home.
Then there would be No Way Home. Okay. Oh, that would be your first. Okay.
That sounds about right timing wise, I think. Yeah. So anyway, I go to that then, and everything. The place was not a great experience, but the place was still as I remember it. Tons of restaurants on that side, bunch of restaurants on this side, big open space in the middle with lots of seating, a big long line to get your tickets, blah, blah, blah. That whole thing there running great, no problem. Now, I haven't been there in a long time, partly because the ones I have gone to are these new theaters up the road, and just we haven't been there. We go in there, partly because I didn't have a great time at the Spider-Man one, not the movie, but the experience at the theater was kind of crap.
The experience, yeah.
Just dirty, and it felt like kids were running it, and it just wasn't great. So we go to this one because all of the time, or the show times for the other theaters were all kind of bad for our schedule, but this one had one open up at 2 p.m., and I'm like, all right, that'll work. We can get back in time for what we have to do. So we go in there, and the restaurants that line the walls, gone.
Oh,
they're
really?
They're just gone. They're just walls now. And hardly anything on them. Maybe one or two posters, like for upcoming movies or something.
Oh, geez.
And then on the other side, same thing, except one little stall that's just a food pickup thing. So now what they basically have is a kiosk out in the middle where you say, I want nachos, a drink, and a thing, beep, boop, beep. And then they have your ticket, and you just go pick it up when they call your name.
Sure.
And then even the ticket lady, where they used to have like 4 ticket taker people, now it's just a kiosk and one lady there to help anyone who struggles with the kiosk, and that's it. So it's fine. It felt like a ghost town. Like nobody's there. It was so weird. Is it
still? But you don't get the big variety of food that they had when there were multiple.
Oh, not nearly. Not nearly. It's like a hot dog, a really bad pizza, and nachos, where you literally get a bag of. You have to open the bag, dump it into the. It's like bad. Bad.
No, really? Not even like the plastic tray of nachos?
Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what happened.
Nachos in a bag is the worst. I think it was scientifically proven that it is the worst way of serving nachos.
I agree with you. I couldn't agree more.
Hands. In your hands would be worse. Hold out your hands. Chips in your hand, pour the nacho cheese on my hand would be the worst.
That's the worst nachos.
Slightly worse than a bag.
Yeah, this was like do your own nachos. I may as well have gone to a 7-Eleven. It was that bad.
Yeah.
And I got a hot dog, and the hot dog was fine, but it felt risky. I felt like I was playing with fate there a little bit. And there were like maybe 2 people working that whole thing, and they were running around like mad trying to do stuff. It's clear they cut way back on stuff. except pricing. Everything is expensive. But
Of course.
the place is so like, I felt like I was going to see like a tumbleweed go by. It was so quiet in there. And there's nobody in the theater. Meanwhile, these other 2 locations we were trying to get into, packed.
Yeah.
So clearly that's what's happened is this has fallen out of favor from the general public for whatever reason, and they're just not going there. And everybody instead are going to these new ones. And so he was just weird and creepy. Clean, I'll give him that. Because last time I was there, it was dirty as hell. This time it was pretty clean. Bathrooms are nice and clean. Like that, they've upped their game that way. But it just felt like giving up. It felt like they just gone, nah, we're not what we used to be.
That's too bad.
I know, because they were innovative at the time. When they launched, they were the first place in the history of movies, in my state anywhere, where you could reserve a seat. They like broke ground with that.
I remember how cool that was, how novel that was when we were talking about it, and now it's everywhere pretty much.
Yeah, now it's everywhere. And obviously systems have improved to make that so easy that why wouldn't they? But at the time it was like, whoa, and the experience of there's food here and there's multiple choices.
Not just popcorn, but like all different kinds of food. Like there were really good flatbread pizzas, and that's what I remember having. I can't remember what else there was, but it was like
it's good.
Decent food, and now it's like, we've given up, and it's really just a matter of time, because without doing anything else, people are just going to stop slowly going here at all, and we'll just shutter our doors. This will be Spirit Halloween.
Yes,
September.
That's what it felt like, honestly. Like they're going to use this for something else in the future. I could feel it in there. And anyway, I mean, Larry died. Maybe his sons are idiots. I don't know what's going on, but it seems just poorly done. Now, somebody in the chat said, well, I would exclusively go there because there's nobody there. Okay, so if you are looking for a great solo movie experience, might I recommend the Megaplex up the street from me, because nobody's there. Just insane.
Because it's like, all right, you get the benefit of not having, people on your shoulder basically on both sides, but there's something about being in a movie theater full of people and everyone's like, oh, seeing certain characters come in and getting that gasp and things like that.
And that was officially
like that.
That was officially the 3rd Harrison Ford movie I'd seen in that movie theater.
Oh, really?
This one, let's see, Crystal Skull back in 2008, where famously one of the pizza ovens caught on fire and everybody got evacuated, is the whole thing.
Which was way more exciting than Crystal Skull. Which is good.
Hell yeah, dude. And that was like 2008, I think. And then when they opened, we saw, oh no, it wouldn't have been Air Force One. I can't remember now. Shit. We talked about it last night. Now I can't remember it, but it may have been another one where he's like the president or something. Oh, you know what it was? It was one of those clear and present danger things, I think.
Okay, Jack Ryan things.
Yeah. So good job, Harrison Ford. I've watched you age quite a bit in that movie theater.
And you still haven't seen Dial of Destiny, right?
Still haven't. Nope.
Wow.
I know. I should watch it. We got James Mangold up for an award, not for it, but may as well soak in it. He was looking when he's I don't want to spoil anything about the movie, but there's a scene where we get to see a lot of Harrison Ford. You know what I mean? And
yes, right.
Just a brief moment. It's just a little brief shot.
Yeah.
But it's just like, oh, you are a brave man at your age to be doing that. I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah.
That was intense. Yeah. Anyway, I had a good time, and I know because the Red Hulk's all over the promotional material and stuff, like there's no spoilers about Red Hulk being in this thing. I thought that scene was, like, the fight was freaking awesome. That was great.
It was really, really good, and very well, again, I'm not going to say more because I don't want to spoil anything, but well done for the kind of characters that you've got going against each other.
Yep, I agree.
And I'll just say that.
That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah.
I need to ask you about the stinger because I don't get it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'll do it after the show.
We'll do it after the show.
Yeah, because I'm assuming there's spoilers involved, but I have no idea what he was talking about in the end there. Because I was listening real careful for it, because you said it was important, and I was like, all right, here we go, and I'm paying attention.
Instead of it being one of, we'll talk about it afterwards, because I'm not going to, again, don't want to spoil for anybody else.
Stick around, though. Especially if you're a Marvel head, there's a stinger at the very end. There's no mid-stinger this time.
Right. I know. It was surprising. I was waiting for a mid-credit stinger, and there was not just the ending one. But
it felt like they had a slot for it because the music crescendoed and everything, and then went. Yeah. And then I thought, okay, here we go, mids thing, and then no, they rolled credits. It was fine. All right. Hey, y'all, let's get to... Oh, a quick thing here. This is just for funsies. We've been hearing about this new asteroid hurtling it toward Earth. Have you heard about this thing?
I have not. This is funny. You put that in there, and I had not heard about this yet. There was one a while back that was like the size of a Volkswagen or something that had its... Is that the one that we changed its orbit because it got so close to us? It became a mini moon?
Oh, I don't know. Is it in orbit now? I didn't know that.
No, we just changed its orbit. We affected its orbit, but it
Oh, I had no idea. We sent Bruce Willis up there with all those guys and took care of it.
We did, and they fixed it. Yep.
Thank goodness.
Miss a thing.
I was on the fence about Buscemi having anything to do with any of this, but anyway.
Well, I mean, they had to tie him up. So it really,
that's a good point. So, anyways, as we have this asteroid. I don't know the name of it, but it's a 2% chance of hitting the Earth, and it's about the size. The description I heard, it was the size of a Mexican villa. Is that a little?
Who knows how big a Mexican villa is?
You got me, dude. I heard that and went, Are you kidding me? You need to be like, use your big boy words here, news station or whoever told me.
The size of the Montpelier, Vermont Starbucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very weird. But anyway, that's what I heard. So I assume it's like a building. That's large.
This is the one, this is the one called 2024 YR4 because
gotcha.
They just name it after the year they discover it, and
it's like COVID-19. It's just always going to be 19.
Right, exactly. Yep.
So when so this thing's got a 2% chance of hitting Earth, and it's a big deal if it did because this is big enough to cause a extinction event. We'd all die. That's big enough. So something the size of a house hitting us, that's it because of the velocity and all that stuff. It's just the whole thing. Bobby can explain this more if he ever wants to. He's on today. Maybe you will. I don't know.
Cool.
But anyway, 2%. And when I heard that, I went, that's not that high of a. I mean, that seems like we're fine. And by the odds, well, yeah, it's better than 50% or some other ridiculous number.
It's a 1 in 50 shot, basically.
Yeah. So 2% asteroid. Here are some other things that there are a 2% chance of.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to give it in categories.
For comparison.
Yeah,
awesome.
For comparison, we got everyday life, unusual or random events, sports and games, and science and nature. Okay? I'll just rip through these. Flipping a coin and getting head 6 times in a row. You have a 2% chance of that. I swear I've done that before. Like, I've hit the 2% on that. A long time ago. I remember being blown away that I could get that many. In fact, I thought the coin was weighted at that point because I thought it was cheating. It's not on this list, but it's also the drop rate of the mount in the Halloween event. It's one of the Halloween events.
The Headless Horseman.
That's about 2%. Yeah. And people get those all the time, so I'm just saying. Picking a single specific card from a standard deck. So, Brian, you have a 2% chance of reaching into a deck and pulling out the 6 of spades if that's what you were aiming to pull out.
Sure.
That seems insane to me that anybody's ever done that, but I guess that's 2%. Yeah. And these all have margins of error, but I'm not getting into those because that's not really the point. Rolling 2 6-sided dice in a row on a fair 6-sided die. So rolling 2 6s, in a row on a fair 6-sided dice. So that would be like... That feels more common, doesn't it? Like you could do it more often.
It doesn't feel like a 2% chance. So that's a 1 in 6 chance the first time. I mean, obviously it's a 1 in 6 chance the second time. So it would be...
It's 1 in 6 times 2. Although,
1 in 36 chance in that happening.
Yeah, so you could do the math separate on per die and then I don't know. There's a way to do
multiply. You basically say it's a 1 in 6 chance that'll happen the first time, and then 1 in 6 chance the second time you multiply. So it's a 1 in 36 chance because you can think of all the other iterations, right? 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, and there's 36.
Another one is getting exactly one matching number in a 6-numbered lottery. 6 is interesting. Another 6 there. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but unusual random events. Being born on February 29th or a leap day. That's the 2. You have a 2% chance of that. Mix or minus or max a little bit, but it's roughly that.
That also doesn't seem right because there are 365 days in a year, and so being born on any specific day would be a 1 in 365 chance, which is already far.
That's already lower than 6%.
It's already lower than 2%.
That might be based on birth rates, common birth rate, or common birth times of the year or something like that.
Okay.
I can't remember. Like they have other data to say it's not just that all days are random. It's that most kids are born between January and July or something like that. And so it changes the numbers.
Okay.
Being
That's
struck by
bizarre.
lightning in your entire life, being struck by lightning, 2% chance.
No. All right. This feels really? Where did you get this list? Because I've heard that being struck by lightning is like it's something it's astronomical, like 1 in a million or something. No, 2% chance that you're going to be struck. 1 in 50 people will be struck by lightning. And
this is according to 3 different
really
LLM searches. And they all came back with the same numbers. So I say that kind of in a fishy way because I'm saying, yes, this is not, I don't have the guy who did the study sitting over there, but according to ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and I can't remember the other one, these are all corroborated numbers based on the same search. So whether or not...
according to the National Weather Service, the chance of being struck by lightning in a lifetime is about 1 in 15,300. So I don't know what the percentages of that, but maybe more like 0.02%, maybe.
Yeah, that one seems wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That one may be based on
maybe it got its data from something like what are the chances of anybody during a storm being struck by light, or anybody during the year being, I don't know.
Well, how you like this one? Random person in the U.S. being named Wolfgang. How you like that?
That feels like that one can't even be scientifically proven.
Yeah, I don't know how you'd prove that. It's probably based on numbers.
Person in the U.S. being named Wolfgang. You mean the person born?
Yeah, somebody being born and being named Wolfgang.
Maybe born on Leap Day, being named Wolfgang, and then getting struck by lightning.
And then rolling six-sided dice twice in a row.
Yeah. I'm feeling some 6-finger AI action going on.
There could be some of that, which is why I did the 3 sources, but who knows if that even works. I don't know. Sure. For all I know, they're all stealing the same data, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Sports and games. Professional basketball player missing 2 consecutive free throws is supposedly, according to this, a 2% chance. That one, I don't know how you'd...
That one I feel like would be higher than 2%. Like probably... Like if we were playing the game of higher or lower than a 2% chance, I would say a pro basketball player missing 2 consecutive free throws could be even like 10 or 15%.
Well, this one... So someone put Shaq's name in there. I knew somebody would, because Shaq was notoriously bad at free throws. This data, according to... There was a little extra text on there. See if I may have it here. It says... minus or plus 2% possibility for top shooters. So they're only paying attention to like your best free throw shooters. Like I don't know their names, but let's say it's I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who a top shooter in the NBA is, but you're saying okay, so like one of your top shooters.
Yeah, like Steph Curry. If it's Steph Curry at the line every time, I would bet on him hitting almost 100% of his shots because the guy never misses his shots.
Okay. So
that's their thinking there. Next one: professional poker player getting pocket ace twice in a row. Now you'll know what that is because you're a gambler, man.
It's just basically somebody being dealt at a poker table a pair of aces face down for Texas Hold'em. Professional or not, you have the same chance. There's no like, well, I'm really good at poker, so I know how to randomly get those pocket aces.
Let's see what it says. It says...
Tell to me. What is professional has zero to do with any of that.
It says it has a 2.07% error chance, but why?
I don't even know, like, even if the chance of getting pocket aces might be, just once might be 2%.
Yeah.
Because it's, again, it'd be 1 out of 52 and then 1 out of 51. Let me see here. Yeah, dealt pocket ace is less than a 0.5 chance of being dealt pocket aces once. It's a 1 in 221 chance.
Okay. Well, if that's true, then that's way less than 2%.
It's way less than 2%. And that's just being dealt pocket aces once, let alone twice.
Yeah, I don't know how it thinks this. All right, here are the final two, and maybe it's having nothing but those hallucinations you hear about, AI hallucinations.
Right.
That's a thing. But anyway, science and nature, the chance of random atom of uranium decaying in the next second. 2% depending on the isotope, it says.
Okay.
And then finally, the probability of a full moon occurring on Halloween once every 19 years, so roughly 2%, they say. Again, I don't know. Could be Sam Altman just throwing the shit at me from the void. I don't know, but there you have it. I guess what I'm saying is there are probably a lot of things that have a 2% chance happening in your life. Hopefully, one of them isn't a mass extinction human event that happens with this stupid asteroid the size of a Mexican villa. That's what we hope.
Right, exactly. Let's hope the people who calculated that there's a 2% chance of the asteroid hitting us didn't use the same AI, the same LLMs that you used. And it really is like a 75% chance. And like,
yeah.
Wow, isn't it?
Yeah, that makes
Oh, right, of course. Duh, of course, it'd be 4 out of 52. Thank you, Cyranex, because one specific case would be 1 in 52, but 4 out of 52, and then 3 out of 51 for the second ace. Yes. Still a 1 out of 221 chance.
The chat winner, though, is to Mantlebeard, who says 2% of the accuracy of the LLMs giving accurate data.
Yes.
Nice job, dude. Nice job.
Yeah.
All right. Brian, there's something here about ice. I'm scared.
I'll tell this one really quick. So Saturday, the storm that you guys had that caused people, to get stuck in traffic for 2 or 3 hours. Hootie had problems in Utah,
really
like
bad.
at home and stuff. Kim was stuck out there for a while.
Yeah.
Came through here, and it was like a hit it hard and then disappear kind of storm. Like we got hit hard, and then yesterday was absolutely beautiful. It melted everything. But I decided, well, I'm going to go out early, right after Film Sack, go do some rideshare driving, and then come home and do some freelance. Had some freelance to do on Saturday. But I said, let's knock it out early. So sure enough, got out there, started driving people around, little trickle of snow here and there, and it's, just fine. And then all of a sudden it starts coming down hard, and it starts coming down sideways, which I guess means it's coming across.
Yeah.
And it's just collecting. Like my windshield wipers are going, but as anybody like you who knows, who lives in a climate where you get a lot of snow, your windshield wiper will sweep off the snow up to a point, but then as soon as it starts coming down almost more than it can handle, snow will collect on your windshield wiper, and it'll start becoming less affected. It'll start melting and refreezing because of the friction of the windshield wiper going across your window and turning into ice that kind of pushes the blade away from your windshield, making it so that as it's going back and forth, it's leaving empty spots where it's not brushing things off.
Sure. That makes sense. Yeah. Happens on our stupid car all the time. I hate it.
Yeah. It happens, if it's heavy snow, then it happens a lot out in our states. Mm-hmm. So what you do, if you're, you grew up in this kind of stuff, to roll down your window a little bit. And then as the windshield wiper is going back and forth, you basically gently grab the end of the windshield wiper blade as it comes towards you, pull it away from the window a little bit, and let it snap back against the glass so that it breaks off the ice and breaks off all the stuff that's on the windshield.
Sure.
So did that a couple times, and then dropped a passenger off, and I was, very close to a Dutch Brothers coffee. I'm like, I'm going to quickly go get a coffee, and maybe I'll decide if I want to stay out in this crap south side of town. And so as I'm driving towards Dutch Brothers, I do it one more time to kind of break off the ice, and my fingers stuck a little bit too much to the ice.
Oh, shit.
And it pulled the windshield wiper off of its little arm, the removable windshield wiper replaceable part, pulls it right off of the arm and kind of flips a little bit, lands back on the windshield. And I'm like, oh, and I'm watching the arm without the windshield wiper going back and forth, and I couldn't get it turned off quick enough. So it basically landed on the arm, and then the arm went fing and flicked the windshield wiper off my window, the disconnected windshield wiper. So I'm like, oh, crap. So I find a safe place to pull over. I walk back over there, And just as I'm doing that, a car comes, doesn't see it probably, and runs over it. It breaks the plastic, fully breaks the plastic.
Oh, shit.
It's like, great. Okay. And it's coming down. I pick it up. I go back to my car. I'm still pulled over to the side with my hazards on, safe on the side of the road. No passenger, fortunately.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Was anybody in there? But it's just you at this point.
No, I dropped somebody off and I was off to get some coffee.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, nearest auto parts place. Where's a checker? Where's an AutoZone? Where's a, Advanced Auto Parts? Find an Advanced Auto Parts 11 minutes away. So I'm like, all right, this stuff is coming down hard. The snow's coming down hard. I've got no windshield wiper, and I can't really use my other one because if I do, the exposed blade on the driver's side is just going to go back and forth over the window and scrape it and do whatever. Who knows what to the glass? Maybe nothing. So I go. I'm right by the coffee place, so I still get coffee because what am I going to do? And so I crank up the heat just to kind of have it melting. I've got the heat turned up to like 83 degrees in the car because I want it to heat up the glass enough to where the snow just kind of melts down the glass because I can see fine through that. I don't want snow to collect on it.
Sure.
So I kind of open the window to kind of keep the rest of the car nice and cool so I don't melt in there. Get the coffee and I pull over and I'm like, well, let me just see what I can do here. And I get the existing wiper on there to the point where it looks like it'll stay. I don't want to really chance it. I certainly don't want to drive home with the bad windshield wiper on there, but at least it'll get me to the auto parts place.
Sure.
So it's kind of wedged on there and it still moves. And I certainly don't want to turn the windshield wipers on full blast because I could just see it going, catching and then flying off again.
Sure.
So
get run over again.
Yeah, right, exactly. Really have it get destroyed.
Yeah.
So I get down to the auto parts place, pick up a pair of blades. The guy tells me, check this out. We got a deal going on with Rain-X that Rain-X, the manufacturer of the windshield wiper blades I picked up. And this is across the country, folks. So take this as like a nice little PSA. You buy your windshield wipers from Advanced Auto Parts, you pay an extra $3, and anytime in the next 11 or next 12 months, basically you have a year to bring those wipers back, and they will give you a brand new pair.
Oh, goodness.
And you can do this in perpetuity.
What?
And so for $3 a year, basically.
I would do this. We have this problem all the time. It's so expensive every time you swap them out.
It is. And it's, and especially, again, places where we live where there's ice on the window, it tears up your damn blades so bad after one winter, maybe 2 winters, that it rips the rubber off of them.
Yeah.
So just go every year. Like, basically, he's like, yeah, you should do this. And I'm like, really? He's like, dude, you're getting a brand new pair of wipers, regardless of the condition that you bring them back in. Bring them back in 11 months and 3 weeks, get a brand new pair. And it's $3 a year. It's like it's like insurance, windshield wiper blade insurance for $3 a year, and you always get a new pair. It's like, yeah, it would take me.
Why wouldn't you ever? Why would you not? Why does nobody know about this? Right? I feel like nobody knows. I've never heard this.
Yeah. So
crazy.
Anyway. I certainly did that. So I'm recommending everybody else do that.
Yeah, hurry and do it now before they catch on to how good a deal this is.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I'm paying at least $25 when I go replace those.
Yeah,
if I do it myself. If I do it just me,
right? And let's say you're replacing them and that's one wiper is $24.
Yeah, so I should make that clear. You're never doing both at the same time, or if you are, it's 50, 60.
Right. So if you think about it, that's replacing, like, if you're doing this $3 a year, that's basically like I'm paying for these wipers every 8 years, but you're getting brand new ones every year. So,
damn.
Why not? Yeah.
Damn. All right.
So PSA, they came with Brian flicking a windshield wiper blade off of his car while he's driving.
Well, look, it's great. There's a 2% chance that you were going to get such a good deal.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Let's move on to. We got the half asses. It's all queued up. It's just a done away, really.
It's just a done away.
I really ought to log in too. That would help if I was in the game. Here we go.
I see you both in there now.
Yeah, we should be. But then the question is, will Dunaway answer the call? And I'm confident that he will because I see him in the chat.
I'm gonna vote that there's more than a 2% chance he's gonna answer.
Oh yeah, at least 3, 4, something like that.
Yeah.
We're going to play a game. We're going to do it with our old pal Brian Dunaway. It calls in each and every Monday and Wednesday from the beautiful the area known as South Carolina. Beautiful state. Lovely place to be and live, you know? You're not having trouble with your windshield wipers down there, are you? It's all good.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. I replace my windshield wipers about once every 8 years.
That sounds right. You know why? Because you got nice humid air that keeps the rubber nice and supple. You like
when you guys were saying, you guys are talking about, oh, you don't replace both of them at once. I'm like, of course you do. We always replace ours at the same time.
Yeah.
You just go to the advanced auto and they just change them out for you every 4 or 5
years. Because yours don't crack and break and turn into brittle nothing because of the high altitude and low humidity. Like you guys are living the dream. You don't have any salt damage on the underside of your car either, do you? Well, you got to get that.
We do not. No, we do not. Very rarely. And I get mad whenever they salt the roads. I'm like, just let it melt.
Just
all
let
right?
it melt. Yeah.
It's going to take like a day. Come on.
You got to get that True Coat. Just kidding. All right. Hey, it's good to have you here, man. We're going to play a game. Brian Ibbott, of course, knows all the rules and who's going to be stand to win some prizes. Brian, let's take it away from there. Let's go. What's going on?
Damn right. Let's just shorten this. Get 1 right, 1 point, 2 right, 3. No, I'm just kidding. It's time to play the Morning Half-Ass. Is a trivia game where I'm actually going to be giving you the answers. I'm going to be giving you guys a category and 6 possible answers, 3 of which are correct, and 3, like trying to get that windshield wiper deal at any place besides Advanced Auto Parts, is incorrect. Depending on how confident you feel with the category, you can provide 1, 2, or 3 guesses. But if any of those guesses are wrong, you get 0 points for that round. Get 1 right gets you a point, 2 right gets you 3 points, and 3 right gets you 5 points. We'll add up the points at the end, and the player with the most points wins a prize for their proxy contestant. Who are these proxy contestants we're talking about? Well, Scott, you're playing for Connor Davitt DeVitt in Columbus, Ohio.
Nice. I like Columbus. I love it. Great place. Yep. Yeah.
Brian, you're playing for Austin Orman in Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. Oh, hi, Tennessee.
Hey.
Hello, Tennessee.
Keeping it in the South over there. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, before we get started, can you tell me which games are the best ones? Because I feel like every week that I win is always like, Scott goes, but who really won was the person who came in. So suck it.
Well, you tell me. So I'll tell you the 3 games. You tell me how I should group them. Chroma Gun, Frog Detective 2, The Case of the Invisible Wizard, and Downward Enhanced Edition.
Okay, so in this particular case this week, your first one, Chroma Gun, Frog Detective 2, and Invisible Wizard, or Case of Invisible Wizard, are excellent. This is the winner group up here.
Yes.
Okay.
The bottom one I can't speak to because I've not played Downward Enhanced Edition unless it's the Downward I'm thinking of. Hold on.
I played Upward. Is that the same?
Is it the one with the black and white?
The non-enhanced edition.
I think it's the one that's, let me just make sure, Downward game. If it's what I think it is, it's an excellent game, but this might still be...
I don't know this one at all.
Oh, Downward Enhanced. You know what? I don't know what this one is. So, as a result, I'm going to go ahead and put my money on my 2% chance that the first 2 games...
Oh, I do know this one, though. You kind of keep going down. Oh, okay, this is kind of cool, though.
Still. Yeah, no, this one's cool.
Gonna be a loser today.
A first-person, open-world, parkour-based platform adventure set in the medieval ruins of a post-apocalyptic planet Earth. Damn, that sounds great.
It seems cool, yeah. The reviews are decent, and I think they're... So, yeah, Dunaway's right. This is a day where everybody wins. No one's losing today. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks really, really
Bring it on.
All right.
Great.
All right, good. Well, let's get to it then. You guys are both in. Let's get to question number 1. Authors who had work prohibited by the Catholic Church. So which of these are authors that had some of their work prohibited by the Catholic Church? Your choices are...
Nothing more.
Here we go. Rene Descartes, Adolf Hitler, Ayn Rand, Charles Darwin, Victor Hugo, and John Milton.
Ayn Rand.
I'm sorry, Ayn Rand. Thank you. Not Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand.
Yeah.
Fountainhead, yes. No, you're absolutely right. Ayn Rand, yes.
I want to be...
Wow. Some of these seem obvious.
Right, but does that usually work out when it's obvious?
Right. It's like, they're like, I don't know. All right, so I'm going to go with the obvious ones. It is going to go with the obvious ones. There we go. These are all obvious ones. It seems like a duh for the Catholic Church.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, always known for getting it right, the Catholic Church. They never screw up.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hits it every
It'll always be the ones that make the most sense, right?
Yep.
All right. So you guys both picked Charles Darwin. I want to focus right now on this one on Brian Dunaway, who went with Charles Darwin, Adolf Hitler, and Ayn Rand. All three of those are wrong.
Yes, I knew it.
And it's actually the other ones. It's
I knew
Descartes, Victor Hugo, and John Milton.
Yeah,
Paradise.
I figured as
Paradise
much.
Lost. John Milton.
Yeah.
It probably was Paradise Lost that got that got prohibited.
I would. I mean, the Darwin one I thought was both obvious
That
and also
seemed like
correct.
an obvious one. Yeah, that's when
yeah.
I picked when I did this one before I looked at the answers. So
Yeah, but there was a time there where they were like, "Oh, looks like Hitler might do some. He might win. I think we'll back that bastard. I think we'll get behind
right.
this."
right.
So yeah, sometimes
All right.
people try to pick the winners before they're winners. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go to question number 2. Let's see if you have better luck with this one. You should, because it's a band we all know and love.
Oh.
good.
Which of these are Metallica songs? Which of these
Oh.
are songs by the band Metallica? Your
You
choices
couldn't
are.
pick any easy ones, could you?
Well, you're
Jesus.
looking for Enter Sandman or
Yes,
Master of Puppets?
Jesus.
Yeah, come on now. Are you new to this? Your choices are Even Now, The Wait, Orion, Sandra, Prince Charming, and Read 'em and Weep.
Can you sing each of these like Metallica for me, please?
Even though. Bad Napster bad.
The Wait.
Even now.
I have made my choices. Have you?
I picked
All right.
a few.
Okay. By choices, Scott, you've locked in with just one.
Oh,
I wanted
And,
to fool
Brian,
him.
You've locked in on 2. Yes, you did.
God's
It was-
smart.
It
Yeah.
was a good choice. It was a very smart strat. Well, we'll see if it's
Yeah, I
a
only know one of these. I
strategic
think the
decision.
other one feels like
Yeah.
Well, Scott, you locked in on Read 'em and Weep. Brian, you locked in on The Wait and Orion. Even Now, Sandra, and Read 'em and Weep are all songs by Barry Manilow.
Oh, shit.
So, The Wait, Orion, and Prince Charming are Metallica songs.
Damn
Good job,
it.
Brian. Dunaway, 3 points.
How did you know that? How can you're a bigger fan than me, I guess, you bastard.
What's the one you knew, Brian? You said you knew one of those
Ryan.
for sure.
Yeah, Ryan. That
Orion
was
the one?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought there was
the
a-
older. Yeah.
Read 'em and weep 100% sounds like a
It
Metallica
does.
song.
100% feels like
Exactly. That is a
Metallica
lyric.
song. Yeah.
That is definitely a lyric.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that album I listened to a pretty good bit.
All right. Well done, jerk. 3-0. Jeez, on one question.
I know that was a big swing. Well, that's all right, because the last question is sports, and I know how much you guys both love the sports questions here.
Sure.
Which of these are objects that you get awarded for winning a golf tournament? These are objects awarded for winning golf tournaments. The choices are the striped jacket, the Wanamaker trophy, the Venus Rosewater dish, the Solheim cup, the Ashes urn, and the claret jug.
My
3 of
God.
those you get.
I don't know what the
as a
claret
prize.
jug is, but good Lord, I don't want that to be it.
I don't know what any of these
3
are.
of those are things.
I love
you
how
get
all
as
these things are jackets or dishes or trophies, and then jug.
jug.
It's got to
maybe-
be right though, right?
Maybe they have a jug. I mean, that sounds kind of Scottish, like OG award. Like,
Right.
congratulations, you've won the jug.
Golf tournaments. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna. Yeah, that looks right.
All right.
They're always excited about those.
I'm just gonna do this. I need to go for it. So there you
You
go.
do need to go for it. All right.
Go for it.
Well, you both selected the striped jacket. We'll come back to that one in a second. Because
I know there's a
'cause Brian-
jacket, but I have a feeling you're tricking us. With that.
There's like a yellow. There's like the gold jacket, or is that just
there's
in?
a green jacket.
Okay.
shit.
Maybe I'm just thinking of Adam Sandler's movie. Why am I blanking on it right now?
Not Billy Madison.
Happy
Happy
Gilmore.
Gilmore. Yeah,
Is that right? Yeah.
Millmore.
that's right.
Milmore?
Happy
Gilmore.
Milmore. Happy Billy Milmore. and
Billy Milmore.
Happy Gabaston.
There you go.
Let's go to the other 2 that Scott selected. Scott had to go for it for 3, right? So the other 2
Go
he
for
chose were the Solheim Cup and the Claret Jug. Both of those are correct.
Oh! Oh, shit.
Snap.
I'm screwed then.
Did the striped jacket get us, or did it?
So if the striped jacket is one of the prizes, one of the options is the third one, Scott wins. If it is not, then Brian wins. Oh my gosh, I love it when it comes down to this.
Very intense.
The answer is the Wanamaker Trophy. Sadly, the Wanamaker Trophy. Striped jacket just doesn't even exist. The Venus Rosewater dish is given to tennis tournaments, and the Ashes urn really is given to cricket tournament winners.
Really?
Yeah. So the striped jacket is just a.
It's supposed to make you think of the green jacket, which is what you get from Masters, and that's
Yeah, and I knew there was a jacket, but I couldn't remember the descriptor. If it was a color or a shape, so it sounded right. I should have stuck. Well, if I'd have stuck with a 2, I would only been. At least I'd have points on the board. Damn it!
You would tied.
Yeah,
I should have done it.
But that's all right. But that's okay. Still a fun game. Congratulations going to Brian. Brian, because of that, Austin Orman in Tennessee is getting the Chroma Gun and Frog Detective 2.
Yeah.
The case of the Invisible Wizard. All of these, by the way, courtesy of King Kimazabi. I want to make sure King Kimazabi. Yeah, I did say it right. King Quimazabi. They've given us a pronunciation guide, but they still put QUI, so I don't know if we pronounce it Quimazabi or Kimazabi.
Yeah, like Kimasabi, but Kimazabi, right?
Right. Like King QUI is in how it would be pronounced in Spanish. Ki.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not sure. He's done this a few times, but maybe he'll find. We'll get a real answer. Finally.
Provide yet another pronunciation guide.
Yeah.
But don't worry, other player whose name. There we go. Don't worry, Connor in Columbus. You're getting a parkour game that sounds actually really cool from its description. So
it looks good too. I looked at some of the video. It looked really nice, and the only ones I can speak to are Chroma Gun and Frog Detective 2, but in particular. Frog Detective 2 is a delightful little whodunit, figure out the mystery thing. It's real good. You're going to love it.
The Frog did it.
Yeah. It's also really, really good on Steam Deck if you happen to have one. Awesome. Well done, everybody. I think that's pretty much a winner all around for everyone but me. So that feels good.
No, we had fun, did we not?
No, we did have fun. We did have fun.
We made along the way or the winner.
Yeah, I still have to play this for me, though. I still have to eat that. But anyway, Dunaway, look, we'll try it again on Wednesday with the Tadpooley feud. We'll see if you can keep your streak alive. How do you feel walking out of here today? You feel good?
I think I'm going to go play some pole position.
Why don't you kiss my
is
butt?
That Friday's,
That is Friday's game. Can you believe it? We're going all the way back, man. Some arcade business. And that weird,
awesome.
We're going to talk about that weird cartoon they made, which should not exist. It's really
only
good.
like
pole position cartoon.
Yeah, like 13 episodes. It was amazing. I loved it.
It's terrible and great. Like they don't, Brian. Try to imagine.
I'm more inclined to believe Scott than I am to believe Brian Dunaway in this case.
He basically.
Did you like Speed Racer?
No.
Okay, if you didn't like Speed Racer, you probably won't like it. But what's weird about it?
Knight Rider?
Shut up. Here's what's
you know the answer to that.
Here's what's funny though. The game is about racing. That's it. That's all pole position is. Get in the car, race, don't lose. That's the game.
Yeah.
The show decides to take it in this these kids are like spies and we're going to go solve crimes and do dumb shit. It's so bad, but it's great as a result.
So it's Speed Buggy with pole position.
Yeah, kind of.
That's right.
Yeah.
Talking cars is awesome. One's a Mustang, one's a futuristic car.
Is it any more egregious than making a movie based on a board game where you just guess numbers and put pegs into battleships?
That's actually a good
Rihanna
point.
Thing?
That's actually a really good point.
Battleship.
This thing only lasted, what'd you say, 13 episodes or something?
Yeah, it's like 13. It's a season, season 13 episodes, half season.
So it's obvious that it did not have the legs to continue, but I do recommend watching it if you're listening to us. Go watch that.
Yeah, it is free. I think you can watch all the episodes on YouTube. Yeah. Dick is not trying to keep this from you.
No, Dick wants to give it
DIC,
to you.
right?
Yeah, DIC.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, not DICK. Well, all right, Dick Dunaway, have a fantastic week, and we'll see you Wednesday. Kiss my butt. All right, there he goes. He's out of here. All right, before we get to Bobby, you'll be joining us shortly. Mm-hmm. This break is brought to us by somebody, Brian. Who is it?
Yes, brought to you by professional wrestling referee and tadpooler Jana Pride. Jana is tag teaming with advocates for transgender equality and calling on everybody to be brave in these times with a new shirt and fundraiser for transgender equality. 100% of profits go to benefit A4TE and their mission. Buy your own or make a donation today by visiting janapride.com. That's Jana Pride with a Y. JAINAPRYDE.com and be brave.
Be brave, you bunch of cowards. Not really.
Yeah.
You're all brave. Just be brave. Be more brave. How about that?
Be braver.
Be braver. Hey, I like that. Quick note, Brian, and last night I was watching TNG in the background, and look who showed up on this episode of season 3.
Oh yeah, it's what's his face?
It's Ray Wise from
Ray Wise,
Twin Peaks guy. Yeah, isn't that cool?
Bob.
He thought
that's the one.
He thinks the Picard is a god. He thinks Jean.
Yes.
Yeah, so he has to he tries to sacrifice somebody to prove that they have this god.
He tries to convince everybody, his whole other population about it.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a very good episode. I had a good time with it. Cheesy and also pretty good commentary.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to take a break. When we come back from that break, Bobby will be here. We got some science to get through. So that's coming up. Not get through. I don't want to make it sound like work. It's not work, right? We like science.
No, it absolutely is. Exactly. It's something we get excited about, look forward to.
Right, but there's this little bit of science, which is no science until music. So music first, then science.
Right.
Play us a song.
How about some hard rock? A band called Dark Remedy. They've just released their powerful new single. It's called Let Me Go. This actually premiered on SiriusXM's Octane before, but you're hearing it here second. Let's just say you're hearing it here second. Written by Jared Beasley and Chris Dawson, it delves into themes of personal struggle and liberation, resonating deeply with fans of alternative and active rock. Just want to see where these guys are from, and I can't tell.
Somewhere
maybe
awesome, probably, right? Somewhere great.
What? Somewhere great. I think Mobile, Alabama, maybe because they're beginning their tour in Mobile, Alabama, so that might be where they hail from.
All right.
I don't know.
Sure.
I could totally be wrong. Anyway, the band is Dark Remedy. The song is Let Me Go.
Well, all the time you spend trying to get back what's been took from you, more is going out the door. After a while, you just have to try to get a tourniquet on it.
In the house?
In your pants.
And we returned. Tell me who that was again, please.
Sure. That is the band Dark Remedy. Their brand new single is called Let Me Go. No news on an album, but they are going on tour in April.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah.
I have been to Mobile, Alabama, and I really liked it there. I thought it was nice.
I don't know if I have. I mean, we had the Mobile Register. Oh, I can't remember the name of the newspaper. They were a customer, but I didn't do that install.
Ah, gotcha. It was humid, but so was everywhere else down there. So I don't know why shouldn't even be a thing. But it was, I don't know, it was nice. There were a lot of cool people there. I thought I wouldn't mind some quiet time in Alabama. You know. Apparently, there's so my sister who went with, my wife. She went.
It's not getting any better.
No, it really isn't. She went with her sisters to a beach in Alabama that is apparently like this underrated, no one knows about it, incredible spa beach like resort that's like affordable and like incredible. And I forgot the name of it, but apparently there's something there that's just like the best thing in the world. So we're going to try to go there again, just us.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it sounds like fun. All right, where are we? We're pulling in Bobby. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Cool.
He's coming in with or without warning. No, he has warning. He hears us. He knows what's up.
You've had your warning with peace and love.
You know what's going on, Bobby.
Stuck in with folks. I wanted to come up with a t-shirt that says I'm warning you with peace and love, and just have it in like a 60s looking font. No mention of Ringo, and I think I won't get sued if I do a t-shirt.
Yeah, I think you can.
I'm warning you with peace and love.
I think you totally can, and we'll all know what it means, and those who don't will be curious, and then they'll find out themselves, and Ringo's none the wiser. That's
right.
He's not paying attention.
But if I catch you with that shirt, I'm chucking it in the bin.
In the bin with peace and love. Was he part of the SNL thing, or is it just McCartney?
Just McCartney, yeah. It would have been great if he would have shown up, because early on, Lorne Michaels on the show said, "I will give $300 to the Beatles if they reunite on the show," and it was a little gag, and then they had George Harrison actually show up and say, "Does it have to be all of us?" And
That's great. Yeah,
it would have been great if they would have had Ringo and McCartney show up and say, "How about the remaining live Beatles?"
yeah, that would have been amazing.
They didn't, unfortunately.
Well, you get what you get for 50 years.
You get what you get, exactly.
All right, check this out, y'all.
There's still something wrong, isn't there, Bill?
Why is that playing?
We have Bobby.
Yeah, why is that playing? That's not the. It's labeled wrong.
I hope this joke lasts forever.
It will never go away. All right.
What's great is it's not a joke, Bobby.
No. Yeah, what you call a joke, I call a full-on mistake. All right, here we go.
Science!
This is the one.
Bob is hungry, and the soup looks good.
All right, that's more familiar for the guy who's on now. Hey, everybody, look who it is. It's Bobby Frankenberger. I just hung out with him yesterday making the instance. That was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, had a great episode. If you guys want to hear all about the big patch coming out on the 24th, we went deep.
Brian, you should check it out, because
really?
you might want to raid this season, because we're going to Vegas basically for the raid.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a new area that's
raid.
kind of like
Yeah.
Goblins? It's got to be
It
Goblins.
is Goblins. You're absolutely right.
Casino, yeah.
Tell them what the name of the thing is. I forgot. It's
the Galagio.
the Galagio.
Really?
Yeah, and they have a new currency in the game that is Galagio. Is it member perks? What do they call it? Membership
It's
points?
something like the Galagio perk card, or something like that. Yeah.
They're clearly riffing on like all the stupid membership stuff you do in Vegas and fees and everything.
That's almost like players clubs and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
almost enough to bring me back. But, almost.
There's also racing. You can race cars in it. Does that help you? Does that put you in there?
That doesn't
Okay.
do anything for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
One of my least favorite sports simulations and car racing games, the least interest in, except for Wipeout. Wipeout is even though it's not cars, same kind of thing. That's the only one that I really like.
Yeah, you make them hover and you give us some good techno, you're in. You know?
Exactly. That's all the music, right? Exactly.
Oh, it's so good. Well, Bobby, you're here. We're going to talk about science, not World of Warcraft. And there turns out there is some science floating around out there. Scientific stuff.
Before I get into what I was going to tell you about, I wanted to make a correction that the asteroid you were talking about.
Yeah,
it's like YR2 or YR4 is what it is. It is not an extinction level event if it hits Earth.
It isn't? I thought it was.
Not a planet killer.
How come?
No, it's not.
I thought
it's not big enough. It would wipe out a city for sure.
Yeah.
But it would not cause.
So okay, let's explore this a little bit, because my understanding was, and I believe you, but like somebody told me if a thing was the size of a Volkswagen, that was enough to take out like most of the Earth. So why have I been told that? Why is that a thing?
I don't know why you've been told that.
Maybe that was Jerry Bruckheimer misleading you.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, and because this one's pretty big, it could be as big as a football field, or a Spanish villa, of course.
Yeah,
of course. Well, why didn't you start with Spanish?
Yeah, sorry,
villa?
I should have just said Spanish villa. That makes a lot more sense.
Sure.
But it would wipe out a city and probably do a lot of damage around a city. Like everybody in the city would probably be dead. But
would you get fallout from that to adjoining? Like, let's say it hit Idaho. Would other states feel the effects? I know it's not the same as radiant fallout, but you'd still have some of those effects, right? Like you're going to kick a ton of debris up into the air, and that's going to float everywhere.
There'd probably be localized, like, and when I say localized, I mean maybe in the surrounding states there would be like stuff in the air for a while, sure.
All right.
But people in the surrounding states wouldn't. That would be the only impacts that they would feel.
Could we pick the city?
Wouldn't.
Yeah. Can we pick the city? That's a great idea.
Unfortunately, no. It probably won't hit anything. Actually, if it does hit, so you have to be sure that if there was a 2% chance that life on Earth, like the planet, would be destroyed, people would be a little bit more worried about it.
Oh, I would think so, right? Like,
but there's a 2% chance that we'll get hit, but that's probably in the next few months going to drop to 0% chance. The way it works, it always whenever they find these asteroids that might have a chance of being in the path of Earth, like Earth might be in the path, as they gather more data, as it gets closer, they can narrow down the prediction, right? And so what that means is, it's actually really interesting why always, whenever an asteroid is predicted to have a chance of hitting Earth, for a little while, that percentage chance starts to increase every day. And then it increases in more and more and more until finally it just drops to 0. And the reason is, and it's hard to describe this without it being visual, but imagine you have like a big giant circle that is the area that something might hit, and you're inside that circle somewhere, not in the center of the circle, but maybe off to the side, right?
Okay.
So that big circle is the error, like the potential areas that could be hit by this thing. And you're off to the side somewhere inside the circle. As the circle gets smaller, but you're still inside it, the odds increase, right? Because your prediction is getting better and better. But then once the circle closes small enough that you're no longer in it, it would drop to 0 because you're not in the predicted path anymore.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's likely what's going to happen. It'll continue to increase slowly, and then before long, it'll just be 0. We won't be in the path. But if it does hit us, it's very unlikely to hit the ground anywhere. It's probably just going to hit the ocean. The Earth is mostly ocean. And I think they found the path that if it were to hit Earth, the path that it went across would be mostly unpopulated areas, because the majority of the Earth is ocean or desert, right? So
yeah, we tend to forget how much land there is, or ocean, or water there is, or uninhabitable North and South Pole stuff where nobody is. Or I guess there are, people out there testing stuff, so too bad for them. But the chances are this thing's not going to land. It's not like it's going to hit Baltimore. I just know it. It's not going to work that way.
It's very, very, very unlikely.
Does it ever go up though? Like, as they get you mentioned, like the percentage drops down the more calculations they have and stuff. Why doesn't it go up ever?
It goes in the other direction. The closer it gets, the percentage will go up. The confidence level will go up. The percentage will go up until the path shrinks. The range shrinks far enough that we're not in it anymore, and then it goes to 0.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, why isn't it? Yeah. Why not the other? Why not the opposite of that? Like, why?
Just because of the way it works. Just because of the way the calculations work.
Okay.
Your confidence gets higher, and if you're still in the range of possibilities, that means that you're still in somewhere inside that smaller zone. So you take up a smaller percentage of that smaller range, right?
Yeah.
Or you take up a larger percentage of that smaller range of possible places until you're no longer in it anymore.
So a quick search of what would it take to do a complete Earth destruction, it would need to be Mars-sized or so, according to the search that I just did. You'd have to have a planet.
I would imagine it would be, to destroy the Earth completely, sure.
Yeah.
Mars is pretty big.
Yeah.
I would think even half that size would be enough.
Well, I don't think if it's Mars-sized, it's an asteroid anymore.
No, it's a planet, isn't it, at that point?
It's a planet, or
planetoid. Exactly. But global catastrophe, about 10 kilometers in diameter.
Yeah, and so this
big.
one at the most is the size of a football field, so like 300 meters.
They had one, what's the Tunguska event? Do you know about this?
That's what I was going to say. The Tunguska event was an asteroid that was about the same size as this one that might hit us, and it hit it hit the Siberia, somewhere in Siberia, and just wiped out a big area of that. So we've had them, and that was in the 1800s, I think that happened. And so we've had asteroids this size hit the Earth in human history. So
interesting. So so it says here 1908, 2,000 square kilometers of forest.
We're just wiped.
Yeah. So if the very unlikely event that it hit a populated area, obviously this would be catastrophic in that range. But we're not talking about something. I don't know why. You know what it is? Probably movies. Thanks a lot, Michael Bay and everybody else. You show me these things that hit, and they're always like right in the middle of New York. Of course.
It was Morgan Freeman. It was Paris. Yeah. It was Morgan Freeman telling us now, if it was a meteor the size of a Volkswagen, it would take down the entire.
Exactly.
My favorite line from that movie is with Morgan Freeman. That one is
Deep Impact.
He describes why we can't do certain things to deflect it, and he says, if something collided into it, it would hit it like a billiard ball. And I have that him saying like a billiard ball stuck in my head. Like,
no, so that was Deep Impact. He was the president in that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Where is Danny Glover a president in something like this? Is that 2012? That might be 2012.
Maybe it's 2012. Yeah.
Danny Glover's
right.
the president who's like, well, I guess we're screwed.
Yeah.
Can't remember the deal.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
I mixed all my presidents up. All right.
That's what Joe Biden said.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
And now we're in it, and it's President's Day. What a perfect time for us to have this discussion. This is great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to what you brought because
what I did come here to talk about is that it was in the news that scientists have detected the most energetic neutrino ever recorded to go through Earth, and with a new detector that they're setting up out in the Mediterranean Sea, and it was able to detect neutrinos, which is a big deal by itself, and they were able to collect a lot of data from it. But the real news is that this detector was being set up in February of 2023. It takes a while for them to kind of let us know the details because physicists are very careful. They want to confirm all their results and all that kind of stuff. So finally telling us.
So a neutrino is for those who are not aware, it's like elemental particle, right? What does it mean when there's like a new one? And does it just
it's not? They're not detecting a new neutrino.
Yeah.
They're
a more energetic one.
This is the most energetic one they've ever detected.
Okay, so it's not like it's not like, oh my gosh, we didn't know this particular base element, or not element's not the right word, but this element.
Neutrino that apparently had some Red Bull.
Yeah, it's just stoked.
Really,
it's just caffeinated to hell and back. This thing.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
What does that imply though when you say energetic? What does that mean?
So, I mean, just every particle has a lot of energy in it, right? Because it's moving and it has mass.
Yeah.
So that has a lot of energy. Force is mass times velocity, right? Mm-hmm. So the real news, it's cool that we've detected this, but the cool part about this news is that this detector that they've put in the Mediterranean Sea, they weren't even done putting it together before it's detected this thing. So presumably you think like, wow, this must be a really good detector. It's really set up to detect all these things.
Yeah.
And so that's really cool. But anyway, so a neutrino, they're really hard to detect. As you said, a neutrino is a subatomic particle. Mm-hmm. They're everywhere. They're incredibly abundant in the universe. You literally right now have more than 10 trillion neutrinos passing through your body every second.
10 trillion.
10 trillion.
I can now I'm thinking about I can feel it now. Just kidding, I can't feel it.
So you might be wondering, why are they so hard to detect? Because we don't detect them very often.
Yeah.
We've got neutrino detectors that have detected some neutrinos before, but just not quite this energetic. If you ever have seen on documentaries, like science documentaries, where they like to do this one shot when they do particle physics of somebody in a boat inside this like giant dome thing that has water in the bottom with all these like golf balls stuck to the side of the wall.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That's a neutrino detector. It's actually that one that they're always filming in is the one, I think one in Japan. And the way these work is they're filled with tons and tons of water. And they're filled with tons of water because as I was saying, neutrinos are really hard to detect, and the reason is because they don't interact with matter hardly at all. That's why even though you have 10 trillion passing through you right now, and then another 10 trillion right now, and then another now, you can't feel them because they're not actually interacting with your body because they're very small. They're not charged. They're uncharged, which means they're not affected by the electromagnetic forces, because they have no charge, and they have such a tiny mass, they're not affected by gravity very much. And so they're very, very small. They're moving very, very fast. They're produced in things like exploding stars, supernova, black holes, but they're also just the product of radioactive decay. So actually bananas is always the example that are used. Bananas are emitting, because bananas decay, and have radioactive decay in them, they're always producing neutrinos all the time.
Would that be true of anything that decays, though? Like a human body? I don't know.
If this a particular type of decay, so what produces neutrinos is the weak force. It's weak, which is it's beta decay, or I think it's the neutrinos are by beta minus decay. I'm not sure. I'm not a particle physicist, but I do know that it's beta decay that produces neutrinos. And
George Decay, when he dies, he will put off neutrinos as well.
Yeah, for sure.
He will have George Decay.
Scientists are waiting. They're going to bury him inside that Japanese neutrino detector.
Yeah. Yeah, for no reason that it's Japanese, for no reason.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. So whenever this stuff happens, the takeaway is what? Like, they can hold more. Like, I know one of the more recent things is they were always thought to be massless neutrinos. But now there's like thoughts that there is some measurable mass to them. So,
yeah, they definitely have mass. I think the only things I'm going to say this carefully, and I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know a ton about particle physics, but I think the only massless particles are different variations of photons.
Which are light particles, right?
Yeah, different light particles. I think those are the only ones that are massless because, I mean, that's how they can go the speed of light, the speed of themselves. That's why they can go so fast, is because they have no mass.
Sure.
But it requires a lot of water. That's why they're building them in the Mediterranean Sea. It requires, the way we detect them is through water, because what will happen is whenever one of these neutrinos passes through water, if it happens to hit one of the molecules or one of the atoms in the water, what it'll do is it'll hit that atom, and it'll cause that atom to kick off an electron, because it just hits it, and then, through the force of its strike, it kicks off an electron, or I think it actually just straight up produces a new electron, and then it shoots out. That electron, because of the energy of these neutrinos going so fast, the electron that shoots out is moving faster than light travels through water, and so that causes a special type of a special effect called the Cherenkov effect, and it causes a blue glow in the water whenever the electron shoots off. So what that means is that if you put light detectors in the water, which is, again, in those neutrino detectors that you've seen where they've got all those like spheres all over the walls, those are light detectors.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're waiting for this event to happen, and then they would detect the characteristic blue glow from a Cherenkov radiation from detect very much. And so if you put a ton of these things, they have like right now 600 spherical detectors put into like a 3-dimensional grid in 3.5 kilometers below the surface of the Mediterranean Sea. And they're just sitting there waiting to detect things, and they've detected the most that it was so energetic that they were able to detect 28,000 photons, which doesn't sound like a lot. 28,000 photons is not very much in the grand scheme of things, but it's way more than we typically detect in a regular neutrino detector. Well, so what it's going to, if they have these detectors that can detect these neutrinos at a higher rate, and they can more easily detect neutrinos, it's going to help us. It basically gives us a better tool, a better telescope, really, to have a higher resolution for things that are really hard for us to get a lot of information about right now. So neutrinos are made in very high energy events in the universe. So in the middle of, like I said, in stars exploding. So a lot of them are coming from the Big Bang still. They're coming from that far back in time, but also in and around black holes, blazars, all these crazy high energy events in the universe. But the problem is these events don't produce just neutrinos. They produce lots of things that we've detected plenty of before. But because all these other particles that are more massive and also interact with other forces like the electromagnetic force and gravity and all that, in the middle of these high energy events, in the middle of a star, for example, they're changed and warped, and their trajectories change. Like if anything that leaves the center of the sun, for example, is being pulled on by gravity, it's being bounced around by the plasma and the electromagnetic forces around the sun, and they're just bounced around. So you don't know a lot about what it was doing when it was first made. All you really know about the particle when it finally reaches us is what it was doing when it finally escaped the influence of the sun. But because neutrinos do not hardly interact with hardly anything, and they're so hard to detect, then we can get a much better picture of what was going on with that neutrino as soon as it was made. So deep into the center of stars and these explosions. And so it gives us a higher resolution image of what's happening in those very difficult to see events in the universe, which would give us more information about what's going on, and so advance our understanding of these types of things.
No, I love this stuff. Real quick, you mentioned Blazar. It is not a popular Japanese anime. Okay. It is actually described as this: an active galactic nucleus, or an AGN, with a relativistic, thank you, jet composed of ionized matter traveling at nearly the speed of light, directly or very nearly toward an observer. That's a bunch of, science talk for a very cool effect. I'm looking at some pictures here. I'd never heard of a Blazar until you said it. So this is exciting.
Yeah. So the center of a galaxy, scientists are starting to think that most, if not all, galaxies have like a big core with a supermassive black hole in it. And so when Blazar, they shoot a jet of energy and particles and everything from the two poles, from going out in both directions from the center, and so they think so that's what a Blazar is. When it's pointing at us and we can detect it.
Yeah.
We call it a Blazar.
The Chevy Blazar. Get one this fall.
Yes.
Well, this is great. I love this stuff, and I love having you on to talk about them. The good news is you have a show that's all about science called All Around Science, and it is a weekly podcast where you guys dig deep into these some of these issues and some of these things that are being discovered. Tell people more about it and where they can get it.
It's All Around Science, as you said. Me and my co-host Maura, we talk about science news and just fun stuff in science. The episode that just came out today was we celebrated one of our milestones. I think I've said before that we don't celebrate like typical round numbered milestones like 100 episodes, 200 episodes. We celebrate them whenever we get to an episode number that is on the Fibonacci sequence.
Smart. I love it.
Oh my Lord, that's great.
So this was episode 233. So that's one of our Fibonacci celebration episodes. Wow. And also 233 happens to also be a prime number. So we asked all of our listeners to send us questions inspired by the word prime. Yeah. So we got questions about prime beef. Yeah. We got questions about prime movers in the universe.
Optimus Prime? You getting the Optimus Prime?
We did have a question about Optimus Prime, yeah.
Sweet. Roll out. So, that's fantastic. That's great.
So that was our Prime episode, just came out today, so give that a listen.
R Deluxe.
You guys are huge nerds. By the way, I've noticed, I was looking, while you were talking about the Japanese underground neutrino detector thing.
Yeah.
$100 million this thing. I was watching just a brief little video, and the guy who's in charge over there, this dude here, he's got a lot of bobby hair. I think maybe we found a common scientific deal going on here. With
Interesting.
Yeah, look at that.
It's got to be the hair.
Yeah, a doppelganger. Your doppelganger in Japan, looking like he's got similar hairstyle and beard. I like it. Anyway,
I need to give him a call.
Bobby, this
Maybe
fantastic
float around in a boat inside that thing. Maybe. Every science communicator that ever talks about neutrinos is filmed in a boat inside that detector. I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch this thing. It's just a 3-minute video, but it's BBC Earth Sciences are really good on YouTube. If you guys haven't seen their series on there, it's very, very good stuff. Bobby, have a fantastic 2 weeks, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.
All right, see ya.
Oh, and don't forget the instance thing I told you guys about. We just did that episode, and it was great. Frogpants.com/instance. It was a very fun episode. All right, Brian, that's about it for us, except for one more thing. An anonymous person wrote a text in about matte finish cars. You were talking about maybe getting one.
Yeah.
He says, regarding Brian's potential choice for a gray vehicle, it does look cool, but it blends right in with the asphalt. From a safety standpoint, as someone who works a job that sees traffic accidents daily, I'd advise against it, says this person. I haven't heard that before. Gray doesn't seem like...
I haven't heard that one. I've heard a lot of other reasons not to get the matte vehicle, or I guess he's just saying gray.
Yeah, maybe he mean any other color. Maybe he's okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
You see the gray a lot. That's probably.
But he said about the matte finish cars. So did he put that, or did you put that?
He put that.
So matte gray is the problem.
Yeah,
not a reflective shiny gray.
Yeah, and if you did like a matte finish, any other color, like a
black,
like a forest green or something.
I think I've just moved away from doing the matte painted vehicle because the stuff I've been seeing online, regardless of the hand washing, that I could probably deal with.
Yeah.
But the it's the fact that scratches and any sort of blemish, you've got less protection from that thing. I watched a YouTube video from a car and driver thing that's like, yeah, it's one that you are constantly worried about because a little stone, a little tiny pebble on the road, and God knows we get a lot of them in Colorado because of sanding the roads when there's ice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Last thing I need is to have to sit there and be worried about nicks and scratches and stuff like that.
I didn't think about like the glossy finish acts as another layer of protection.
It's like another little, it's the coat above the glossy finish that gives it the shine that acts as like I don't know if it's true coat.
Well, you got to get that true coat.
Underguard.
Yeah. Someone in the chat said it's so 2010 to get a matte finish car. Really? I don't remember them being the big deal back in 2010.
Exactly. I think I feel like I've only started seeing them in like the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, they seem recent to me too, but maybe I wasn't paying attention in 2010. I don't know.
So
yeah, you could do the wrapped matte. There's a lot of wrapped options, and the wrap acts as a protection thing. My neighbor did that. Basically, his matte finished, one of his Teslas matte finished is a wrap. Not
interesting.
So
job. over the shiny,
over whatever stock. I don't know what it was when he got it, but
decided against the matte.
Yeah,
probably still going black though. So as long as I don't drive on any black asphalt, I should be fine.
By the way, so this just reminded me of something. Yes. Glad we brought this up. Let's see if I can find where I posted it. I put it on Blue Sky. Most people thought I was trying to be political with it. I wasn't. But I have this neighbor behind us, totally different neighbor. He has a Cybertruck, and I talked to him briefly while walking the dog. And on the driver's side of his car, it is keyed all up and down there. Somebody did some horrible key job on it.
To his Cybertruck.
To his Cybertruck. Okay. So it's all up and down the side. So I asked if I could take a picture of it and put it on my stuff. I just wanted to show this awful treatment of his car. And he said to me, these are the words he said to me. He says, I'd rather not attract, or please don't, I would rather not attract any additional attention. And I laughed, I kind of laughed. Because
I'm sure you did, right? Like,
it's a Cybertruck.
Cybertruck.
Yeah, that's like saying I'm going to dress like Michael Jackson in the red leather, but I don't want to attract any attention while I'm wearing the red
dress
leather
to the Grammys, but I really don't want to attract any further attention by wearing a funny hat.
Yeah. So take Musk and all the politics out of it. I'm just saying you bought a Cybertruck. It is the most noticeable ass car on the drive, and right now that is everybody notices them. There's no getting around it. Nobody goes, ooh, an Ioniq 5. Ooh, a freaking Chevy minivan. Nobody does that. They go, ooh, a Cybertruck. You have already done the thing that will draw the eyeballs to it. So don't. Yes. Nobody should scratch people's cars. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't key it. Don't do any of that.
I don't care how you feel about Tesla. It's not. It's
absolutely
shitty.
A hat on a hat. Like once you've got the hat on, the next hat doesn't make it any more. Doesn't draw any more attention to it.
Yep. This is all true. Okay, a couple quick things. Monday show today at noon. Tune in for that. Frogpants.tv. Carter and I will be here. Film Sack up for the weekend. We did Count of Monte Cristo. Had a great time with it. Turns out that's a good movie. Turns out a lot of people like me conflate it with The Man in the Iron Mask. So yeah, you're not alone. There's plenty of people who do. So that actually kind of surprised me how many people conflate it. They're very similar. And then didn't you find out the author's the same? The
same. It's Dumas. Yeah, Alexander Dumas.
I had no idea that was that guy. So
shouldn't pronounce that last S. Alexander Dumas. Alexander Dumbass did both.
There you have it.
Good on him.
Also, today was going to be the day we had announced our winner for the Film Fest. It will be tomorrow.
Okay.
And the reason it'll be tomorrow is because Scott got so busy this weekend that he forgot to go add up all the points. So tomorrow is the day. Be here. It'll be a great day. We got that. I got a dental appointment to fix a crown. It's going to be a great day. You know?
Oh, fantastic!
Can't wait! I wish I was this hippie Japanese guy right here.
That's not in the morning, right? That's like after the show.
Oh yeah, it's way 2 p.m. or something, and it's probably going to be quick and no pain, no shots, no nothing. Yeah. They're just going to reseat it.
Crown, so it's right, exactly.
Great, but I still hate going. Don't want to go.
It's fingers in your mouth.
Well, maybe I'll have some new music to listen to because you're about to introduce me to something. So what are we playing here
You
today?
will. You'll have at least one brand new song to enjoy. And that song comes to us as a request from Derek. Derek wrote in, I'm still getting to all of the first 2 weeks of requests for the first half of the month because all of you celebrate birthdays and stuff in the first 2 weeks of February. This is a request from Derek. Derek says, hey, Brian and Scott, on February 1st, I'll be turning the big 4-0. It's been an interesting year for many reasons, and I'm definitely in my midlife crisis. So please play a song that fits in one way or another. Scott, could you please play a screaming medley? A Scott screaming medley. Always enjoy laughing to your pain. Signed, Derek.
I don't think I have a medley. I could do one. I think he
wants you to just push a bunch of buttons on your soundboard of you screaming.
Oh, I don't know if I have them in a way I can do that. I can do this. I can do that for now. But you know what? I'll work on one, and then you'll have it for the next time you turn a new age.
I'll bet you could give it to some crafty person in our tadpole, and they could put it to music and actually have a.
We would play. We'd play the shit out of that. Are you kidding? That'd be great.
Absolutely.
All right. Let me know if you want it.
All right, Derek, this is one that I got recently, 2 weeks ago on the 7th. For 24 hours only, there was a charity album released on Bandcamp called Good Music to Lift Los Angeles, and it was money from the proceeds went to victims of the fires out there and helping restore their lives back to normal. And so a whole bunch of people contributed to this album, including Death Cab for Cutie, who recorded or at least released a live version of Depeche Mode's Enjoy the Silence. This is great. From Good Music to Lift Los Angeles, here's Death Cab for Cutie and Enjoy the Silence.
Those pants are made for frogging, if you know what I mean. I actually don't. Frogpants.com.
Console sold separately and hooked up by an adult.